Toronto's got a great comedy scene right now. I just did a gig up there, and it reminded me a lot of your club. Dude, those kids don't care, bro. They'll say everything to anybody all the time. I'm like, how is this possible?
Well, I think Canada is experiencing a lot of people that are rebelling against the tyrannical government. The government is so bad now. In Canada, you can't post links to stories. So they did it in a very sneaky way, saying that these social media companies have to compensate the media outlets that have the thing. But the thing is, it's like a lot of them are just links. You can't even post a link to a story in the New York Times.
How is anybody okay with that? How are people in the far left, right? The progressive left, which is like the last, I'd say like 10% of the population, right?
Right.
How are they okay with information being censored? Like, why would you even, no matter what your stance is,
I think they did
you
it
want
in a
the
sneaky
data?
way. They did it in a sneaky way, saying that this is financially unfair to these media corporations who are suffering. I mean, that is true. Like, there's a reason why they have to make these horrible clickbait ads, and the reason why editors put clickbait stories and headlines is because they just need people to click on the links. They're fucking starving. They're all going under. The LA Times just fired a bunch of people. Like, newspapers are barely hanging in.
So my question to you is, like, you don't think it has anything to do with censoring information?
No, it does, for sure. This was my point. My point was the premise of it seemed reasonable. More people need to go to Canada Times or whatever the fuck it is to get their information. They shouldn't be going to Twitter or Facebook. And so to make people go to these websites to get their news, we're going to stop all of the ability to take these things and post them. But what you're really doing is you're stopping awareness.
Yes.
Because people aren't going to be able to filter out all like back in the day when we just read newspapers. You had to be a fucking real nut to get into the Kennedy assassination.
Right.
You got to be a real nut. You had to be reading books.
Yes.
You had to really get into it.
You had to be meeting in basements to have conversations.
Somebody had to tell you about it, and you went and got the book.
Yes.
And you didn't get anything from the internet. There was nothing. There was no internet, so it didn't exist. So you would have to get a physical newspaper to read it, and most people only read the stuff in the beginning or the sports page. So you read the first couple of pages, see if you're going to die. Are we going to die? What's going on in Saudi Arabia?
Yep.
What's going on in Yemen? And then once you get past that, you get to the sports and you read the comics or whatever. And that was why we were so uninformed. We were grossly uninformed because most people...
We were naive.
Right, very. And now, most of the news I get is from links. Most of the news I get is, you'll send me a link, Alex Jones will send me something, someone will send me something. You know, Michael Malice will send me something. I get stuff from Dave Smith. I get
Great resources.
Yeah, I get stuff from people sending me something, and then I go to Twitter and I find things and I send it to them.
Twitter's
and we all send each other stuff. And this has greatly increased people's awareness of things like